Ready?
Yeah, man.
Okay. All right. Today I'm here with Big Five from Electric Tattoo in Gardena, California, and I just want to say, hey,
What up? What
yeah,
up?
buddy. So I've known this guy since I was about
Long
19.
time. Long
Yes,
time.
Eagle Rock or what's his little city called? Highland Park.
Highland Park.
Highland Park, California. There's a shop called Vintage Tattoo. What's up, Bubba?
Yep. First shop I ever worked at.
Really?
Yeah, professionally.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
tight.
yeah.
Oh yeah. I remember I walked in. I wanted a wizard tattoo on my leg. Yeah, it actually came out pretty dope. I still rock it. I'd show you if I got clothes on. Yeah, and then we started talking about lowriders and stuff, and he had this really cool, was it black Ford?
I had a
Maybe?
54 custom line. Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Yep. Chopped. Or it wasn't chopped then. I chopped it later.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just remember it was black and it was fucking dope.
Yeah. Thank
You
you.
know, yeah, and I asked him about airbags, and then him and a buddy, Tommy, still talk to him?
I do. Yeah. I tattooed him actually like 3 months ago.
Sick.
Yeah.
Sick.
Yeah, he's a lifetime friend for sure.
That's
yeah.
good. That's good.
He taught me how to do suspension work, airbags, all that shit.
Yeah, after you, I guess you were working a lot, but after the job was done, they actually put airbags on my Chevy S10, which was cool at the time.
You know? Mini trucks and shit.
Yeah,
I did a lot of mini trucks. Yeah.
Yeah, and then it was more dealing with Tommy at that point. You know, towards the end of the airbag job.
Yeah, I kind of went back into tattooing more. I kind of went back and forth between cars and tattooing my whole life, really.
Yeah, dude.
But I got kind of tired of working for building for other people.
Dude, it's a hard work too.
Yeah. I'll tell you a story of me and Tom.
Yeah.
So we were bagging this, it was a Chevy Blazer. Yeah. And we had it all week. We were almost done. And it was like Friday night, and the dude was like there with his lady, and he was like bugging us, like, oh, hurry up, hurry up. So we're trying to finish it up. And I'm putting the wheels on and putting the lug nuts on, and Tom's going around with the impact, impacting the tires. Well, he only did his side. He didn't do my side.
Oh, no.
So dude takes off and loses a wheel like halfway down the block, and it rips his whole fucking rear fender off.
Oh my god!
Which came out of me and Tom's paycheck.
Yeah, I bet.
For like months, bro. Yeah.
That's fucked up, dude.
Yeah. That's why I was like, I don't want to deal with customers anymore. Yeah. I'm just gonna build for myself, and after that
that has to be really scary
only build for
the guy
my
driving
friends
the car,
or probably.
You know, like I had a Caprice at one point in Las Vegas.
It was my bad, but I just assumed he had the impact.
I mean, it's not really. I mean, that's both you guys. Definitely both you guys.
I assumed that Tom was going to go around and finish it up.
You would think, right? Yeah. Fucking A. I remember I had a Caprice in Las Vegas, and I bought it from some dude at 26s. Whole different time in my life. And one of the rims fell off, and I didn't even know what happened. It was like one of the craziest earthquakes or something.
Right.
The car just hit bang, and it was a rear tire, but I somehow hit the front windshield.
Oh, you know shit.
I mean, yeah, I guess the car stopped really fast.
I've actually lost wheels multiple times in my life. Yeah. I had another 54, and the rim cracked all the way around in a circle. So the lug nuts were still on the rim, but the rim came off.
Holy shit.
Yeah. And then I lost, I used to run Astro Supremes a lot on my cars, and they're unilug. So the lug nuts, it's made for multiple cars. So the lug nuts always come loose. So I was on the 110 one day, and I lost my wheel. But it was on the back. Yeah, it was on the freeway.
Holy shit.
It was the back wheel, so it kind of just tucked up. It was super slammed, so it just tucked up in the wheel well, and I just slid to a stop. Yeah.
Slip and slide.
Yeah.
That's cool. Well, anyway, let me think here. So I met him when I was about 19 years old or so. We got into hot rods. Okay. Fast forward to, he had tattooed me at his home, I believe, multiple times from the time I met him until, throughout my 20s and stuff. And then I believe I didn't really touch base with him for quite a while.
Yeah, we didn't talk for years.
Yeah, years.
Man. I didn't even know you were tattooing.
Yeah. So I had it. So, okay, let me tell you this. So I look up to this man for many, many years. I'm not scared to put the religion out there, Christian, same here. Great father, husband, tattooer, all the stuff that I was trying to do at the same time. So for me, this was the man to look up to, dude. The hot rods, all that stuff. Dude. So, fuck yeah, dude.
Thank you.
and so I was tattooing. I guess I was about 30 years old. I had started tattooing and stuff, and I had touched base with you
Were
for
you
multiple
piercing
times.
first?
No, I was tattooing. I was
Tattooing
doing.
first.
Yeah, I was tattooing. I have a funny story about the piercings we get into how I learned, but yeah, I started tattooing with Trigger,
Okay,
Triggs,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
LA. You know what I
Triggs,
mean?
yeah.
One of my best friends growing up. Rest in peace.
R.I.P.
Um,
Good dude.
yeah, dude. You know what I mean? Like the way he told me. I did a video about Trigger earlier, and he just threw me in there, dude. He was like,
Nice.
"Tell the guys you're an apprentice. You start
Right?
tomorrow." I was like, "Oh
Yeah.
yeah." He's like, "Grab a tattoo and they're not looking, or they're not, or they're too
Nice.
busy."
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I did that,
The
and
old school way.
yeah, he's so cool, dude. I
Yeah.
mean, I wouldn't be where I am today without him.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I'm opening up Bangers in Hollywood next month, and I'm gonna have a thing. I'm gonna put a big ass photo of him and Norm.
Hell yeah, make a
You know what I mean?
shrine and shit
Yeah,
in the
dude.
like somewhere that just stays like that for
I have
sure.
an awesome picture on my phone of Norm tattooing his jaw lines and
Nice.
stuff, and he's just sitting in the chair like he used to do,
Uh-huh.
and
I
yeah.
went I went to Australia with Norm.
Oh
That was
yeah,
a good time.
fuck
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
dude.
we had a good time.
Yeah, was he? Oh, we don't have to get
I
into
had
that.
I had met him a few times, but I never like kicked it with him. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So yeah, that was
nice
fun.
guy, man.
Yeah, he
You know
was
what
a
I
good
mean?
dude
Yeah, I
for
don't.
sure.
His death really caught me off guard. I did not see that one
I did
coming.
not see that coming at all,
You
dude.
know,
No, I didn't.
I
Some of
want
the
to.
other homies, obviously, through my life, yeah, we
Yeah,
seen that coming,
yeah.
but
I did not. I didn't know anything
no,
about Norman, what he was doing on stage except for tattooing. So I
yeah,
thought,
yeah.
you know.
Well, Triggs too. That was a fucking shocker, dude.
Yeah,
That was
yes
like,
and no. I mean, he was one of my best friends. I
well,
loved him, but the gang life that he
yeah,
lived,
yeah,
you know what I
yeah,
mean? It kind
yeah.
of,
He lived like, yeah, that's true.
you know what I mean?
That's
That kind
true.
of just kind of
But it
it's
was
part
a
of it,
very strange circumstance,
It
really.
was. He was
Yeah,
not even doing that anymore. He was
right,
focused on his little girl and
for
honey
sure.
and all that, and then
Yeah,
yeah, caught me off guard. I'd be like, because of that one reason, one of the main reasons that his death was why I moved up to Las Vegas, just to get away.
yeah.
And then we can fast forward a little bit, jail time in Las Vegas. Then my baby's mom moves to New Orleans. I go to New Orleans when I get out of jail, and then me and her separate. And I'm looking for a job because she's back here in California with my two kids, Sophie and Jackson. I love you guys. Shout out.
Hello.
And I call Big Five. I think you had a post on tattoo jobs, maybe.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, and
Or on IG or something.
something like that. Yeah, and I was like, man, dude, he doesn't even know I'm tattooing. I was like, man,
I had no idea.
yeah, I was like, should I give him a shot? At this point, I have confidence though because I'm about maybe 8, 9 years in, maybe,
Yeah.
and I've done Las Vegas Strip, Venice Beach, Hollywood. I hadn't done Hollywood yet, actually. To New Orleans, bourbon and all that stuff, and so I call him up and I'm like, okay,
That's how you get your tattoo legs and all the walk-in spots
yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah, your
Touristy
repetition,
spots,
yeah,
yeah,
if the kids out there,
100%.
you want to do repetition to get better and deal with customers, those are good spots. Tourism,
Yep.
hard to build clientele though when you're doing
True,
tourism.
true.
You never see them again, but you're also putting your tattoo work uh, worldwide. You're putting it out because
Well, so many artists nowadays, they're just like, oh, I'm an artist. I went to art school and now I'm going to tattoo. And then like they think they're just going to do their art. You know what I mean?
yeah,
But like the walk-in shop, like we're right here on a rough ass street in Gardena.
yeah,
This is where you learn how to tattoo
yeah.
on the street shops. Then you don't learn to tattoo in fucking colleges and bullshit like that. You
No, not
learn
at all. I
you
agree.
learn at
You know,
touristy or like straight up street shops
I was
where you never know. I used to always love that because you never know what you're gonna do.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like when
yeah.
you're doing walk-ins and shit, like it could be you never know. It
It's
could
the
be
ultimate
anything.
test. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it
Yeah,
is.
yeah, and
You got to be
challenge.
prepared for everything. You
Definitely.
know? Yeah.
Well-rounded tattooers are the ones that I
Yeah.
want in my shop.
It's for real.
What's funny though? There's a girl that I work with right now. I'm gonna say her name because I like her. She's cool. Apprentice, but has graduated into tattooing.
Okay.
And me and my buddy were talking to her about her future and what she expected and stuff like that. And she was like, "Well, I'm gonna make $80,000 a year," and I almost fell down, laughing. Like, I'm not making fun of her, but it was. I think it's a little rude awakening. I mean, for me, I
Right.
didn't make that money for
Long time.
you know what I mean, for a
Yeah.
long time, and I want to say now time it might even be harder now because now what's in is these half tattoos that aren't shaded and not